Jen here, and I have a layout for you guys for the Everyday Inspiration series. This is a series that Christy, Crystal, Daisy, Dolly, Lisa, and myself do every month, where one of us takes a picture of our everyday life and then we all use that as inspiration for a layout. So this month we have this beautiful picture that Crystal took. You can see it up there in the left-hand corner. That is the miracle staircase in the Loretto Chapel, which is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And so essentially, let me give you a quick rundown of this staircase, because I love this kind of stuff. And there is some really cool kind of, I think there's some like quote unquote miraculous and spiritual things that might have gone on with the staircase, but just some of the facts about it. So the chapel was actually built, it took 5 years for it to be built, and it was opened up in 1878. And the church brought in a French father and son architecture duo, and the son is the one who actually designed and built the staircase. And so it's called the Miracle Staircase because it's literally held together by wooden pegs and glue. There is some like metal brackets that kind of hold it at the top and the bottom, but everything else is glued together. And actually, I read somewhere that it didn't even have real handrails for the first 10 years or so. Those were actually added in afterwards. So it didn't even have the bracing of real handrails to hold it up. And if you look closely, you'll see that there is also no center post. So that helix structure is kind of self-held together. And so that was, it was just considered a really amazing feat of woodwork, and I guess miraculous by those standards, and it's really cool. And I think it's miraculous that it's lasted this long. They also aren't sure 100% what wood it was actually built from. They know that it's some sort of spruce, but I don't think they've ever identified the actual species of spruce tree that it was built from, but they know it's not native to New Mexico. So there's just lots of really fun, cool things about this staircase. And I guess the chapel is no longer part of the church. It's actually privately owned, and it's a museum, so you can go and visit it. And it's a really great inspiration piece for this month. I was really looking forward to it because it's just something very different. The colors are very different, and you're going to see here I end up making a very different layout. And before I forget, I also want to share with you that we have an amazing guest this month. So when Crystal was first thinking about what she could use as our picture for the month, she shared this picture with Moira, and asked if she thought it would be something that might inspire us. And of course Moira said yes, because it's a beautiful picture. And the story and history of it is also very inspiring too. So because Moira was so helpful, Crystal asked if she wanted to join us for the month, and she said yes. So down below you will see a link to a video that Moira did too, and I'm so excited to see her layout. I think it's so much fun. We love this series so much, so it's a lot of fun that we have someone joining us for the month too. So be sure to check out all of those links, especially Moira's, to see what she does this month. All right, so now that I've given you a little history lesson, let's actually talk about the layout that is inspired by the staircase. So I really wanted to actually scrap a staircase. I just really love the idea of the stairs and kind of that like spiral, double helix kind of feel of that staircase and the circles. So I remembered that I had this picture here, and you can see the staircase in behind us. This is actually a picture that was taken at the end of the Titanic exhibit that came to the Science Center in Calgary. And so basically, I mean, it was a really cool exhibit. Basically, when you walked into the exhibit, you got to pick a card, and that card gave you all the information about a passenger on the ship. And so as you were walking through the exhibit, you could kind of pick and see, like, okay, if you were a woman who was in third class, then you could read all of the pertinent information about how each part of the exhibit would have affected you if when you were on the ship. And so it gives you the ability to kind of walk through and experience the Titanic through the point of view of someone who was actually there. And so at the very end, you find out if your person survived or didn't. And so it really gave a very personal experience to the exhibit as you were going through everything. And so my husband, myself, our daughter, and my nephew all went through. I think the kids actually got children as I was going to say characters. They aren't characters, they're actually real passengers. So the kids got kids, and my husband and I got adults. I think I was a first class female. I think my husband was a third class. I can't remember if he was male or female. And I think the kids were a second class and a third class child. And so it was really interesting at the end to see who survived and kind of to be able to walk through the exhibit. And so once you get to the end, you get to take this really cool picture, and the backdrop is actually the main staircase of the Titanic, and there's a ghost image of the captain right behind where my husband is standing. So I've actually had this picture on my fridge for 10 years because I think it has been maybe not 10 years, maybe like 8 years. I can't remember. I do have it all written down, but I can't remember if my daughter was 6 in that picture. She was 6 or 7, no more than that. And so I thought this would be really cool to kind of use the inspiration of the stairs to actually scrap this picture, which has been on my fridge for a really long time. So to recreate the feeling of the stairs, I found this cut file that was sent to me in a Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit, and you saw at the beginning I kind of cut it all apart. It's actually more of a full, almost 12 by 12 cut file, but I thought that these central circles kind of gave that same feeling of the staircase and how it was kind of spiral. So I went ahead and cut just those circles that I wanted, and I painted them with some gold cream. I think it's from Viva. It's just this like really nice thick gold paint. It's not as thick as texture paste, but almost. And it wasn't quite the right gold for me, so I was trying to kind of match it to the banisters that you see in the picture. So I added some of Vicky Bouton's rose gold glaze over top of it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It just warmed it up. There's a few little flecks of pink in there, and it added a ton of texture. You can see some of the brush strokes and stuff, so I love how that turned out. And then I just cut strips of paper to back it. I felt like the strips kind of became the stairs and gave it a lot of movement and height, and I just went for colors that were really kind of muted and natural to match the tones that are in the picture itself. You can see that the picture is really warm in tone. Plus we're just wearing street clothes, so there's a few little pops of kind of blues and reds and pinks and stuff, so that is also what kind of helped me pick the colors to back the cut file. Then I used that round navy blue circle to kind of ground everything, just to make sure that my picture popped out, because my picture is quite busy, and with all the strips of paper and stuff, the background's a little bit busy. So I like to use a nice dark color that kind of breaks the busyness of the background from the picture. And then I just overloaded it with a bunch of circles that I had random collections and stuff. I keep all my little gold stuff together in one iris container. So I just pulled out all of the circles that I could find that I thought might work, and I added a bunch of enamel dots again with all of those circles. I added a wood veneer anchor and then some of those stars because I didn't want to just have one wooden element on the layout. And again, the wood kind of goes with the whole feel of the boat. And then for my journaling, I couldn't find anything circular that I really liked. So I used those two rectangle tags from, I think from Pink Fresh. And they just gave me the perfect little journaling spot because it was a travel collection. They have like travel log and destination and arrival and stuff like that. So I was able to use that for my journaling. And that's it. That's my layout. I'm going to keep my title right there on the picture and I'm all done. I love this layout. I think it turned out so fun. It's different for me, which I really love. And if you love it too, please give me a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me down below. Make sure you check out the other ladies' work because it's phenomenal as always. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.